Hi everyone, welcome back to the Forgotten City. So last time we've spoke to the magistrate and he's given us permission to go in anybody's house and read their mail and siphon through their personal belongings, which I assume it means his as well. No, let's not commit a sin by stealing his money. We've read that letter. Can we open that? Is that an opening chest? No. To try and find out who is going to commit the crime of breaking the golden rule, which is creating any sin in this era. So, a small household shrine where ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection. Okay, interesting. So, here we got the stuck-up daughter, Cynthia.
Oh, look, you're back.
I'm back.
How lucky for me. What is it now?
Your eyebrows are off. Sorry, that's really off-putting. Who did your eyebrows? Anyway, what do you think about the Golden Rule?
You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
Ah. So, this is the other sister which was adopted. Maybe it's best if you don't go insulting the gods just in case.
Oh, I'd say it to their faces if they had the courage to show themselves. Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
Well, at least we know blasphemy doesn't break the Golden Rule.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
Interesting thought. I suppose we'll find out sooner or later.
I suppose we will.
Do you know a way out of here?
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Can I help?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know.
Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
When did you last see her?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
Was she seeing anyone?
I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
Why is that?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Your father didn't mention any of this when I spoke to him. Any idea why?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her, so he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
He's the guard we saw earlier, isn't he? Is it possible her lover was involved?
I don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Cynthia, and Scintilla. Why are your names so similar?
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest, and my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla.
Okay, sounds like a small star constellation or something. You look surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance.
I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
No. Optional, we can... Okay, it's just an observation.
If you must know, I'm here because my father has forbidden me from leaving the villa. I couldn't bear to lose you too, he says, as if he loves me, and not because he needs at least one daughter he can trade off.
That's all the questions I have.
So you'll help me find her?
I don't think so. Yes, I will. Of course I will.
Oh, thank you. You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
Thank you. I'll get right on it.
Thank you.
I prioritised that over anything else. But she said thank you to me, so we've made some progress.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Brilliant. Right, so let's go and search Scintilla Miner's... Ooh, a note from Scintilla. Optional, search Scintilla's room. Right, Scintilla to Sentius and Sentia may Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. I am sorry to have to leave you this way, but I have found a way out to escape and I must take it. I hope we meet again someday. Now I wonder if that's I'll take that. I wonder if that's, you know, when they say escape the kind of the Roman-esque and she's running off with the boy or whatever. I say boy, could be anyone. Ceramic ink jar. Ink appears to be made from soot and water. Anything interesting on it? Not particularly. Well, we'll leave that then. Look at these images. I have to say, the people who've designed this obviously have done a lot of research into the Roman era, or they love the Roman era, because it's very, very accurate. We're not going to steal money. We're not going to steal money. That will get us into trouble. Let's examine the vials. Small vial containing a rudimentary perfume made of flowers and oil. Okay. Comb, brass mirror. Brass has been polished to the rudimentary mirror which has been used for applying makeup. Okay. Examine the vial. More perfume. Same for that one, is it? No. Hang on, put that one down. That one? Yeah, same as that one. Okay. So we found the note. We found her money. Let's have a look in this. This is probably Scintilla's, or Sentia's, yeah, Sentia's chest. She's got money. We're not going to rob it. What's she been writing in her journal? Dear Diary, today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden and devastating disappearance of my sister. As a dutiful daughter, of course I shall oblige. The following pages contain my innermost secrets. I know you're reading this, Father. I may be young, but I do not think me stupid. We're all entitled to our secrets. Brilliant. Another mirror. Examine there. Brass jar containing some sort of powder for makeup. Okay. More perfume? More perfume. Ooh. Examine the bust. A sculpture of Ares, the Greek god of war, known to the Romans as Mars. Okay, that's her room. I'm going to have to dodge.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, you got a shovel in here. A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash. Well, it would do. Inspect the stove. It's no doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regarded that as their servants' problem. Yes. The carrots are purple, as they were before modern orange carrots were cultivated. That's true. I think that was done by the Dutch for William of Orange, wasn't it? They presented it as Orange to obviously his house name. There you go. Didn't think it was going to be a fact-finding thing as well, did you? Tap X for a guide towards the objective marker. Oh wow, okay. Did we get that from this statue? I'm not worried about that. I'm just... They probably expect me to go directly to
Fear
the next
is
point
proof
for the
of a
quest, but I want
degenerate mind.
to have a search around and get all the clues we can.
What now?
Hortus, what now? What's your story then?
I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughters. Daughter, I should say. And the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals.
How did you end up here?
I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing alright for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl, and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum Fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labour does the body. That said, Centilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit.
Can you tell me about... no, let's not... Can we talk about Scintilla?
What business is that of yours?
I'm looking for
A
her.
lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
Sometimes fresh eyes help.
I suppose that's true.
Did you notice anything suspicious before she went missing? I know what you did to her. You can try and bluff something out of him.
Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose.
Yes, I will. Let's talk about something else. We won't do the bluff yet. Tell me about the
He's
magistrate.
one of the better commanders I've ever had. That's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
No, I suppose not. How do you... Do I know a way out of here?
I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
Interesting. Can I see a citizen register?
I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Ah, so here we go. Aurelia, is that? I can't make out what those letters are. Commoner, duty tavern keeper. Quarters tavern in slum. Notes, claims to know a way out. Okay. Claudia. Patrician. Wife of Melios. Quarters of the villa. Central. No notes. Decius. Commoner. Merchant general. Forum. No notes. Domitius. Is that a T? Domitius? Or is that a C? I don't know. Commoner. Malleus's guard is in the slums. Dalius, commoner, unable to work, slum, imprisoned in warehouse. Interesting. Equitia, patrician. Vestal priestess. Villa lower. Fabian, commoner. Baker, slum. Gallerus, commoner, farmer, slum. We've met him. Georgius, foreigner, merchant clothes. Forum. Hannibal, foreigner, forage for scrap, slum, died in cistern, question mark. Horatius, commoner, guard, slum. Kabash, foreigner, fisherman, slum. He's disappeared. So the two foreigners... Oh no, he's still there. So two of the foreigners have disappeared. Julia, a patrician, debt bondsman to Malios. She's in in the villa middle. Livia, commoner, hairdresser, slum, now refuses to work. Interesting. Lucretia, foreigner, nurse, slum, no notes. Malios, patrician, money lending, villa middle, notes not to be trusted. Naivia, common physician, quarters not applicable, notes locked herself in palace. Okay. Octavia, patrician, cleaning, gardening, lower villa, no notes. Rufius, commoner, patrol, slum, notes increasingly agitated. Sentia, patrician, pupil, villa upper, restricted to her villa for safety. Centilla, patrician, pupil, missing. Sentius, patricia, magistrate, villa upper. Lupius, commoner, debt bondsman to Malios. Because all these people is that not a sin? Getting these people in debt and becoming slaves? I don't know. Virgil, commoner, architect, forum. And that's all of them. Okay. Oh, we can go into reading mode. That makes it so much easier. Yeah, okay. Lesson learned there. Lesson learned. Right. Thank you very much.
Of course.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
Collective punishment, which is a war crime. Now that's you're in favour of it.
What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers-in-arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it, so railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.
Let's talk about something else. Who are you going to vote for?
Not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery and intimidation. The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change.
Interesting. Can I help?
I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
I'll be going
Please
now.
keep an eye out for anything that might lead us to Scintilla.
Yes, indeed. Right. So, if we look... we need to concentrate on one of these missions. If we concentrate on the Vanishing Act, figure out what happened to Scintilla. we talked to... we've got another one to talk to Sentia about the note we found. Let's go back and do that while we're here then. Get that one ticked off.
What have you discovered?
That look doesn't flatter you. I found a letter in her room mentioning her plan to escape.
What? Really? I swear, I searched her room top to bottom and never saw that. I wonder how I could have missed it. Strange, but well done, I suppose. But it's odd. It was only a few months ago that Sentilla's friend Yulia let slip she was planning an escape of her own. And yet, Yulia's still here. You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
Okay, so Yulia, or Julia, beautiful. Magistrate. Oh, is this the gladiator dude? So is it that villa? The upper villa?
Fresh meat, huh?
Yeah. We won't talk to the gladiator just yet. We need to speak to Yulia. Ooh. Inspect the vines. These might be climbable. If only I could support my weight. Ah, okay. Can we... Maybe, maybe not. It's locked. Damn it. So, maybe climbing up would be the answer, but I'm suggesting it's not gonna let us climb up. No, I guess not. Right. Maybe she's in... this is the villa. Aha! We're in. It's the kitchen. What are they serving? Similar stuff. Pickled dormice and all that kind of thing. This is Octavia. Oh, the note from Octavia. We can read this. If anonymous friend to Octavia, may the Lord bless and keep you. I am sorry I could not risk discussing this with you in person, but if I am right, then you are a believer like me. You may not be able to worship openly here, but know that you are not alone. If you ever feel like you need somewhere to pray, there's a special place waiting for you, deep in the caves behind the theatre. Turn right at the first fork and again at the second. Directions to a secret shrine. Enter the caves behind the theatre and then turn right to the first fork to the second. Okay. I can't take it, so I'm going to have to leave it, but we've read it at least. We'll leave the money.
I'm afraid this area is private. I must ask you to leave.
I apologise. You Octavia?
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from.
Yes, a
I
little bit.
suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
Right, Equitia, so she's the priestess. What is a Vestal priestess?
You really don't know? You are from far away, aren't you? Well, I am one of the priestesses, charged with keeping the sacred flame in Rome's shrine of Vesta burning. I take it you know who Vesta is?
Remind me?
Vesta is the mother goddess of hearth and home, and the guardian of the Roman people.
How did you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen dragged me out of the river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
Well, it's an older name, but it checks out. But it's not uncommon from where I'm from. It carries negative connotations where I'm from. It does.
Why is that?
Because of memes.
The memes? What are the memes?
The memes. So the memes is a small image you share with other people. They become a bit like their own language.
So, a bit like Egyptian hieroglyphs then?
Yes. Something like that, yes.
So your people make hieroglyphics depicting this accursed character, the one they call Karen?
Yes.
I wonder if... No.
What were you going to say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
All right, I'll do that.
Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
So I wonder if she is in the time loop as well.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
I'll get right on it. I'll see what I can do. Do you know of a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
Well, it's in my name, so it's good to be here. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Okay.
Wonderful. It goes like this.
Get yourself a cup of tea.
Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, They invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Borsis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic, realizing only a select few possess such powers. Says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Borsis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Or perhaps it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing their test, and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are. I agree.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Yes, very good. What's the state of the election
It must
currently?
be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Who's allowed to
All
vote?
of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Does that include me? Can I vote then?
Well, you're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid
Oh.
not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election. By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Okay. What's your role in the
I'm
election?
responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
That's interesting. Can we start? Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
I've been asking people how they wound up here.
And did you notice anything? A pattern?
Nothing really.
Oh, well then. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
Okay, I'll be going.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbours.
Will do. Right. What I want to do is have a quick look at the Citizens Register. So, we are looking for... Who are we looking for? So, this is the lower villa. This is where Equitia, whatever her name is. So, we were looking for Julia, who's in the middle villa, or Julia, who's in the middle. And Livia's the hairdresser who went missing. Right, thank you, Equitia. Is that whispering one of the missing girls, do you reckon? Who's that? Oh, it's her again. So that is the lower villa. So that has to be the middle villa, doesn't it? Let's go and have a word with the...
Would you?
No, that's your job, mate. Oh, Scintilla, yeah, I did agree to go and look for her, didn't I? Let's have a look around here then. There's the mad old lady here, isn't there? That's the don't steal anything, don't hurt anyone. Right. Who's this? Stranger. Hello, stranger. Roman stranger. Looks a soldier.
Name's Rufius.
Rufius.
So watch your step.
What's your story, Rufius?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but... family's from Seleucia on Tigris. Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now.
How'd you do?
Even joined the legions.
Who's
The
that?
6th. The one they call Ironclads.
Ah, how did you end up here then?
Same way as everyone else.
Why are you still wearing your legionary armor?
Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
Why don't you have a weapon?
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
Okay. Not much of a talker.
If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
What are you dealing with?
None of your business.
Ah,
Introiti ipsum commensula.
God bless you.
If we have to.
Do you know the way out of here?
If I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
No. What do you think of the golden rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
I know the feeling. I've lived through a pandemic.
I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. While we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
What do you think is coming?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
You might be right.
Of course I am.
Right. Who are you voting for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Anything I can do to change that?
No.
Okay. I'll be going.
Whatever.
Bye. He does sound a little bit like the cat people in Morrowind, doesn't he? But right, okay. Is this the... Oh, hello. Oh, let us past. Oh, guardian of the door. Oh, I wonder if I've got to do an action which will save whoever this is, which will allow me access into here. I wonder if that is a puzzle. Let's go up here. Ah, this must be the forum. Yeah, I think it's the statues who are doing the whispering. They're stuck in eternity there. My goodness me. I thought I saw something moving. It's the farmer.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Hello, farmer boy.
It's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend.
Yes.
Now, what's on your mind?
Quick question, what's your story?
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
Okay. Go on then.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young, and it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These Legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
Was it Karen? I reckon that's Prospina, isn't it? Karen is Prospina. And she's just picking out people to send into the city.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. And I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting. And he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
We'll see.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Do you know of a way out of here?
Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
What do you think of the Golden Rule?
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
Okay, what do you think of the election?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
I'll nominate you.
All right. See you around.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. They're trapped in there, aren't they? Okay. Right, I think we'll leave it there. We've got lots to do. We've got, loads to do. We've got the Vanishing Act. Figure out what happened to Scintilla. Ask all residents of the villas for clues about Scintilla's disappearance. I overheard Horatius discuss Dominitus of some involvement in... Oh yeah, that's the gladiator, I think. I'll go and have a chat with him, maybe. Ask Yulia about... Yulia's the one we're trying to find, but we can't find her yet. And find out by Lucretia's distress call. Figure out how to make Malleus drop out of the election. Need to dig up some dirt on him and meet him. Okay, but that's our primary focus at the moment. This will ask residents about their stories to identify at least 3 common threads. So, being pulled down to the river. That's us. That's Gallerus. That was Al. So clearly, Karen, as we know her, may be the goddess, whose name I've forgotten already, which is really bad. Prosperina, or whatever it was. Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? So yeah, we got lots to think about and lots to get on with. So yes, but we'll continue on next time. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this and finding it as intriguing as I am. There's going to be a lot of puzzling to get through, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.